Well, Bill, tell me more about those banjo products.
Well, Andy, those are two of many products that were invented by Mr. Coy Willis of Apollo Engineering. And I got to know him several months ago, and I was so impressed by both of them. I am now helping him market these. And as a banjo player of 42 years, I am first and mostly impressed how they work and that they work the way they are designed to work.
Well, they just sound great.
Well, they are, and let me just take today to focus just a little bit on the Apollo D-tuners with a new twist and the Apollo Built Right banjo capo. Well, let me first start with the Apollo Built Right banjo capo.
Yeah, I noticed that looked a bit different.
Well, it's very different, and the most important thing that makes it different is that it works, and it works every time. The Apollo Built Right banjo capo is a simple and yet precision designed piece of spring steel that simply fits onto your existing capo, or if you don't have this capo, we'll supply you with a capo. You take the rubber sleeve right off, and this just slips right on with these two ears, and it also has 2 feet that actually slide down and fit right on your fingerboard. One of the nice features about this capo is that when you're done using it, it just flips flat on that square bar and allows you to put it in your pocket when you're not using it. But the nice feature about this is the 4 fingers actually fit right on each individual string, with the prongs just below it bumping up against the fret to show you where the 4 fingers actually belong on the banjo. So that's the idea behind this Built Right capo, and I can tell you that I have used this capo all night long in jam sessions, and never once, never ever once had to touch the tuning on my banjo. And I still, after months of using it, am surprised each and every time I put it on, because I'm so used to, after 42 years, I'm so used to having to tweak and touch up my banjo tuning with the other type of capos that are out there that pull the string down behind the fret. The wires of a banjo string are so small and so thin and so fine that it takes very little pressure to pull them out of tune.
Right.
This does not pull them out of tune because it puts it right on top of the fret. So that's the beauty of this. I'll use it all night long, never once have to touch my banjo, and the tone and the clarity and the sustain is just out of this world. I still can't get used to it. Hey guys, let's go into A real quick and show how this Built Right capo quickly gets into tune and how well the banjo sounds with the intonation. Let's go to A. We are there. You ready?
Well, Bill, that was great. Red River Valley with a new twist. And those tuners brought new life to that old song. That sounded great. Now tell me about those new tuners. They look a little different.
Well, they're not only a little different, they're quite different. The only other two systems that are out there for detuners are set screw tuning systems and cam tuning systems. With the set screws, you have to set them and unset them almost virtually all night. With the cam tuners, you have to drill a hole not only through your peg head, but most likely through your pearl inlay as well. And that ruins your peg head. These attach either with two small screws or a simple piece of double-sided tape, which has been tested to not only be strong enough to hold the tuners, but Coy Willis, the inventor, has taken these tuners, once they've been applied with the two-sided tape to the banjo, and hung the banjo up, and they do not become unattached. Now, the one thing that's really great about these are the smoothness and the accuracy, but also the long throw. On the other tuners, the throws or the swing that you use to get the note, especially the set screw, is quite short. This has a longer throw, enabling you to really unwind that note as you're playing a song, as we demonstrated just a moment ago on Red River Valley, and which we will show in just a little bit later on with our other song that we're going to do, Grandfather's Clock.
Well, Bill, those are really handsome tuners. They add to the song a lot. I've noticed there's no screws, set screws, or I just see these really fine machine milling on the wheels there. Tell me about how they work.
That's the secret behind how these really are beautiful to use. Instead of set screws, what you do with these tuners, let me just put these down for a second and show you on the banjo.
Yeah.
The top is always set wherever your tuning peg is set. So if you're tuning your banjo, there
you go.
Now that's in tune.
Right.
The top of your tuner is completely set now with that. It always comes back to where you set your tuner. There is no top set screw.
Yeah.
There is no top to even set. Your tuner actually sets the top.
I see.
You never touch the top tuning part of this tuner. What you do is you drop it down to the bottom, and at the bottom you dial it in with this wheel, and it's as smooth as a binocular's fine tuning wheel. There's no problem of going through a set screw or a spring dislodging. It goes right into that bump each and every time, and that's what gives it its smoothness and its accuracy. That wheel is the secret of the entire tuning system, and it is just a dream to play. You virtually, I know this is a corny saying, you virtually set them and forget them. You do not deal with these all night long.
Well, it seemed very efficient to use, and you're only setting one side, the low side.
Only the low side.
That's great.
And what we've done is we have offered 3 different choices of buttons for people. Some people like these pearloid buttons that match what they may have, or if they have another set of buttons, these pearloid buttons are handsome and they tend to stick out, and they can easily find them to grab them to do their tuners and to do their twisting. Or we also offer them in black. I prefer the black because it kind of makes them virtually disappear, and you don't really see that extra set of buttons on the back of your peg head. You really only see the other 4, and these kind of just virtually disappear. We also provide the grained ivory, which is a retro look, and they go very nice with the Waverly double-banded tuners that also use this retro grained ivory button.
Right. Some of the old vintage buttons.
Some of the old vintage buttons. So between the 3, you should be able to find a set and a button that will dress up your banjo to your liking. Boys, let's take it on home. We're out of here.